Well, that's not a number anyway, so. Okay, forget it. Corsair H80i GT and H100i GTX liquid coolers improve both the appearance and the cooling performance of your PC. Click this little button right here to learn more. So let's just do the unboxing then without trying to slate. This is pretty exciting. I was absolutely floored by how heavy it was. I actually had a really hard time getting it out of the outer cardboard packaging. I mean, other than the size, it's pretty much exactly the same as the box that the silver one comes in. I think they give you a slightly different letter. Actually, you get a shorter letter. 100,000 subscribers, that's more than double the size of Blippity Bloopity. You delivered the audience. At YouTube, you set the gold standard, etc., etc. Thanks for being awesome, sincerely. Look, this one's blurry. I'm starting to feel kind of ripped off here with this 1 million subscriber hibbity-jibbity. All right, so let's take off the foam cover. And that, my friends, is an extremely large wall plaque that I have no freaking idea where I'm going to be able to hang up, but one that I am extremely proud of and extremely thankful to you guys for making possible, because let's face it, unless a million of you, actually it's gonna, by the time this video is published, it'll be closer to 1.4 million, but you know, I'm sure it takes a little while to make these and ship them out. It takes a million of you to click that button for us to get this plaque. And it's extremely exciting. I mean, it really makes me think about what it took for us to get here, because some people have very explosive growth on YouTube, and they sort of start up their channel, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm huge now. With us, it was a very gradual progression. We went from this kind of handheld style before to this more presenter type style. We started scripting, and we've gone through so much evolution that I feel like I don't explain enough to you guys. I mean, at the very beginning of Linus Tech Tips, all it was a way, because I had no time, a way to have videos on product pages extremely quickly. We never expected anyone to subscribe to watch me open a box. That wasn't the plan. We just expected people to know what was inside that motherboard, so they'd know if they had to like buy an extra SATA cable when they built their PC. That was all we really wanted from it. And honestly, the reason that what I think was a huge part of the success at the time was the quantity of videos that I produced. I was doing up to 1.5 videos per day, 45 videos a month, early in the process. So I would go out in the parking lot and I would shoot 10 at a time in a given week with the old NCIX cameraman, who still works at NCIX, by the way. And honestly, that wasn't something that we planned. We didn't kind of carefully go, well, gee, I think 45 is probably about the right number of monthly videos. That was my quota. I mean, I was an employee at NCIX. It was like, okay, we need to have videos on all these product pages. How are we gonna do it? We've got one guy who makes videos. He better make a lot of them. that was the entire plan. So the style, like the off the cuff, penis jokey, kind of getting things wrong and just kind of rolling with it style developed just naturally, not out of a plan, but just because that's who I am, and I had no time to do anything better. So when we eventually split from NCIX, and I hired my first 2 employees, Luke and Edsel, and we became Linus Media Group, the objective wasn't for us to, keep doing 45 unboxings a month, with the lowest possible quality to get products. Because that was another thing I loved about making these videos. I would get access to all these products, and while I was often, reviewing some graphics card in the middle of the freaking night and uploading my video at 4 a.m. or whatever else, I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was a total blast. But all of a sudden, we were out on our own. You know, there were 3 of us now, so you had real mouths to feed. I can't pay people in graphics cards, unfortunately, as much as I wish that were the case, because we certainly have lots of them. So we had to figure out how to evolve. And one of the first things we did was we started another channel, Tech Quickie, which is coming up on 500,000 subscribers, which is extremely exciting. And another thing we did was we pushed to improve our quality. And that was something a lot of people objected to. They kind of went, well, no, we love the camp, you know, handheld, move in and around the product style of Linus Tech Tips. We don't want anything different. But I think the results show that it was the right thing for us to do, because it's enabled us to experiment with our content in ways that we never could before. From the humble beginnings in the garage, back when we were, you know, recruiting for interns because it was the only way we could get all of our work done because we had no money and no time. We now have 6 employees. We're moving into our new headquarters in about 2 months, and the future is an extremely exciting prospect for us. And that's really a big subject that I want to talk about in this video today. Now, you guys may have seen the news quite recently that YouTube is cracking down on the ability of content creators like us to monetize their content independently in certain ways. And to be quite clear, I understand why they're doing it. They take a 45% cut of the Google AdSense revenue for those little text ads that pop up or those pre-rolls that run before the videos, and that's what, you know, Google figures is YouTube's cut for hosting this video service and bringing the subscribers to you. But where that gets tricky is that is completely beyond our control. We can't affect, you know, Google's CPMs, that is the amount of money we make per 1,000 views. We can't affect that in any meaningful way. We can't affect whether Google actually serves ads onto our videos or puts them somewhere else, because they're always playing algorithmic numbers on their sides. And one of the big problems that's come up recently, you guys might have seen the video that Game Theory did about the subscriber box, is Google's not even delivering the audience to us in the way that we expected anymore, where they're playing games with what shows up in people's subscriber feeds, even if they have subscribed to your channel, depending on what they're watching at the time. So things are going to change over the next little bit. You're still going to see integrations in our videos because we've found ways to make it so that they fall within YouTube's rules, and we can still continue to talk about, you know, Dollar Shave Club or Squarespace or Intel or whatever else the case may be. But we're going to be looking for different ways to cover our butts in case that goes away all of a sudden, because unlike other channels that have maybe one primary host who also does all the shooting and all the editing, it's a one-man show where the only consequence if, you know, their revenue is cut in half is that they make half as much money but are still very comfortable. For us, we have half a dozen employees. We've banked on being able to turn this into a business that can really support us and allow us to grow personally and professionally. So we have to keep finding different ways to do that. There are a number of ways that we've already been doing over the last little bit. So things like t-shirts, things like monthly contributions for our forum. You get kind of like a cool badge if you join our community and stuff like that. But we also have to find ways to reach you guys that are different. So we might start to leverage, you know, creating an emailing mail list or something like that. Hey, did you miss our videos because, your subscriber feed doesn't work? We may also experiment, in fact, this is pretty much a foregone conclusion at this point, with other video platforms such as Vessel, where there's an incentive in terms of better ad revenue for us to release our content there a little bit earlier than YouTube. So stay tuned for all of that. I guess that's the plan. Thank you very much for being here with us all this way. It's been an extremely exciting ride, and here's to the next million, or by the time you're watching, about 600,000. And I hope you guys continue to be a part of it as we push forward into newer, I'm getting all emotional, into newer and more exciting content formats like the recent Scrapyard Wars. That's definitely something we want to do more of, because we hear you guys loud and clear. That's what you want to see. And I do hope you know that we are listening over here. Speaking of listening, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. We do listen to that. Leave a comment, preferably on the forum. We have that linked in the video description. We do listen to that as well. Also linked in the forum, we've got somewhere where you can buy that merch I was talking about, give us a monthly contribution like I was talking about, change your Amazon bookmark to one with our affiliate code like I was talking about. I should probably do like a detailed guide for that, actually. I've had a lot of people ask me for it, but for now, it's linked in the video description, and I think that pretty much wraps it up. As always, don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips if you haven't already.